Okay, so I went and saw my last video and it was about Astrivino and whatever, and that woman should really die. I genuinely believe it. Like that day, she was making fun of like a certain girl. I mean, the girl isn't sane in the head anyway. Her boyfriend pewed her head, and then she was like against him, and all her family was against him. But then, oh, he apologized. I don't know what happened, and then it's suddenly just an accident, and he didn't mean to do it. Your boyfriend doesn't pew your head by accident. Okay, that doesn't happen by accident. And then Astrivino was over there saying your father probably deserved it because her father died because of whoever is named that the guy she groomed. Whatever, such a mess. It's still a mess. I hope she gets eventually caught. She needs to go to jail. That woman is fucked up on so many levels. But yeah. Oh fuck. What I wanted to say was Eid is cancelled in my country. I mean, for many reasons, like the chapel of like animals, whatever we call it, chapel of animals is really low, and that goes beyond the fact that the cost of living is just has skyrocketed. Like it is impossible for some people to even buy like a female sheep, let alone a male sheep. Like some of them reach up to 500,000 or bullshit like that. So you cannot just expect people to actually buy it and then be forced to perform a certain like sha'ira or whatever. So I think it was a good decision to humble a bit like the grand like samasira. I really don't know how to say it in English, but like the grand like oh my god. I don't think I know tijara in English. Oh my god. Let me think. Commerce. Whatever. Like the biggest like people that selling. Okay, the best sellers or like the biggest sellers for like sheep or like whatever things of that nature, just animals of that nature that we actually sacrifice in Eid al-Fitr. They needed to be humbled. Okay, they were thinking they are like giving you a god knows like something that'll feed you for ages by like selling it with 500,000 for like we have this certain breed that's like really really like authentic, strong, muscly, everything. Like even our king sacrifices it every year. It's called sardi. It has like a black nose or like a black party in its face. I mean, those are really good. Like some of them, like you feel like, wow, if that was a human, that would be a buff human. Like that would be a strong human, and they're strong for animals too. Like they're strong, tabarakallah. So some of them actually reached like 8,000 and bullshit. Now, I'm sorry. The king made the decision. The prices dropped like drastically. I mean, I kind of understand that like there is like a certain like um people, there's certain sellers that will actually be really hurt from this. But like there's certain sellers that sell around like 700 heads or like 800 heads just in that time period of like the sacrificing and everything. Like so around like 1,000, 1,500 heads throughout the whole year, selling them in like skyrocketed like prices. They deserve to be humbled. Okay, they made it really hard for people who really just want to make their families happy and just like make them actually enjoy sha'ira min sha'air our god. They made it really hard for them, and yeah, like genuinely really really hard for them. So yeah, now the prices dropped. It isn't mandatory to like not actually celebrate it. It's just that the king like has given like a basically a pardon or an excuse to like that since we consider him as like the king of the believers in my country. So if he like actually gives us like hands us a pardon or like not doing a certain how do we say it, like ibadah, we don't get like sins. But if you did it, you're doing it for yourself. It's not mandatory to not do it. Unlike one time back when it happened in the dynasty of Hassan Tani, it happened, no one was allowed to like actually perform the holiday because we didn't have sheeps or like animals at all. So like actually slaughtering some animals will mean that you are actually like affecting the economy in a bad way. But now whoever can buy will buy, whoever cannot will not. And they will not get sins. It isn't like mandatory in the first place. Like in our religion it isn't mandatory, but you get like a huge amount of like good deeds if you did it, and it just brings joy. And I mean, who doesn't want to be eating meat for like 2 months and shit, like a month at least. And it brings joy to the kids and things. It's a good like tradition, and it's a good like I don't know, I really don't know, it's not a prayer, it's ibadah, whatever. But now it has been like pardoned, so I think that was a good decision and should have been done last year, because last year was when people really got the hit, because I remember we bought our sheep for around 4,000. Do you understand what's a sheep for 4,000? What, God knows, what is it like? Is it shonda sheep? Like what is it? Is it going to taste like, I don't know, like premium steak? No, it's never this serious. But now the prices dropped drastically because of this decision, and they're like almost half. So that's really good. They needed to be humbled. But that at the same time reflects a really bad state we are in as a country. So I won't elaborate on, because لا تنجن على مخي, whatever. Like, I won't elaborate on the actual state we're in, but that still doesn't change the fact that it's really bad. Like, yeah, it might have been good, it humbled those big sellers and whatsoever, but this is still just late stage capitalism, okay? It's really bad, and we have a like a multi-billionaire like ruling over our country, okay? Like, it is such a high anarchy. Is that the word? Oligarchy. Okay, oligarch. We have such a big oligarch. I just realized what the heck is, whatever. Oligarch ruling like our like ministry. He's a big oligarch, yeah, and he's super rich, and he made sanctions here and there to feed into his richness. So that's already not good, but steps towards positive things, hopefully. But yeah, it's still bad, it's a big oligarchy going on in this country. It has been going on for years, but it was never this drastic. Like with our two last presidents, the one before this was a boring guy. Anyone barely remembers his like time of like rule and bullshit like that. No one remembers what he was doing. He just ruined the economy for the oligarch to take over. And the guy before the guy that like made the steps for the oligarch to take over was a terrorist. Like it or hate it, he was a terrorist. No, but Salma, you're being like out of the religion. Why are you saying a conservative is a terrorist? He was a terrorist, and he'll always be in my eyes. Yeah, maybe he was just saying that we should like mix the religion with the ruling, and I agree with that. But let's not mix terrorism with ruling, okay? He was a terrorist. I don't care. I do not give a fuck. Back in his day, terrorism was like high. Like every day you'll hear about terrorism. This is one thing I wanted to talk about. Okay, actually, let me shut this video.